Hello, this is Scotty Reed with the Black Talk Media Project, and in this particular video, I am going to show you how to basically the process that I go through to post podcasts, upload podcasts to Black Talk Radio Network's platform. So this is a video for our clients. Now, what we're looking at now on the screen is a promo for a live program that is called New Abolitionist Radio Weekly. This was a program that was done last night. Now, it was recorded to the computer, but the way that I broadcast live programs is going out at a high bit rate that I do not want the podcast to be a large file size. For example, we set limits on the upload size of a file that you can upload to the platform. It cuts off at 99 megabytes. I may in the future increase that if I have time to go into the code and make the necessary changes that I need to make to the server. But 99 megabytes is plenty for a podcast. You can get a 2-hour, 3-hour podcast under 99 megabytes. And this is the free program that I use. As you can see, I've already converted some programs. The original sizes are listed there. But what I did was record them. I converted these large MP3 files to a smaller size MP3 file just to give you idea of some of the presets. Let me pull that up. This is Format Factory 2.90. So you could do a Google search for Format Factory and you'll find this free program. So what you would do is add a file by clicking on add a file, obviously. And again, remember, I clicked on all to MP3. So if I had an MP4, I could also use this to convert it to an MP3. MP4 is video for those who don't know. So I would just simply choose the file like so, and then I would go to the output settings. And I would change it to a 44100 hertz. That is the standard for podcasts. The bit rate, I will, instead of it being 320, 256, 128, 96, I choose 64. I want the audio to be stereo, so I choose 2 channels, and when they play it, I want the audio to be at 100%. So I will just simply click OK. Now I'm going to back out of this. Well, first, I would click OK. Then I would just click start and it would convert it. Now I've already converted that, as you can see, from a 101.9 megabyte file, and we'll see the file size when I go to upload it. We're working on New Abolitionist Radio. That one was 109. Okay, so this is a very valuable tool to help you, with your work and do it quickly. So we don't need that, but now I want to pull up another free tool before I upload this. I want to tag my MP3s. I want to tag my MP3s with the ID3 tags or the metadata. So that is when we distribute it out or it gets played in a podcast player, that it'll tell whatever player what the name of the program is, the title, all that kind of good stuff. A lot of people, they do not tag their MP3s, and they should. So there's another free tool for that, and it's called the MP3 tag, which you can just Google that and you will find it. If you can't find it, just get at me and I'll send you the link. But this is where you will put your tags in. So I need to tag New Abolitionist Radio's podcast before I upload it to the site, because it's not just going to play on our site, but we distribute it out through several different platforms and directories. So I want to go to New Abolitionist Radio. Find the file. Should be right there. Go to programs. (2017). Now it's going to load up those files. Because we do provide stats to our clients, you also want to choose a file name, change the file name to something that begins with the title of your program, or not the title of that particular podcast as the topic, but the producer. So this is New Abolitionist Radio. So as you can see here is the tag that was, the MP3 file that I've already converted. Now it's down to 54 megabytes as opposed to the original file of 109. I can go ahead and delete that one now. So what I want to do is change that file name. This again is for statistical tracking, so we'll know what file belongs to what producer. So I want to copy that, and I'm going to go down here. I'm going to rename this one. And that date was the 10th, 5/10. Okay, now I could go ahead and add my tags. So the title of this program was New Abolitionist Radio Weekly, 5/10. So that's going to be the title. Make sure it's on the right file. 5/10, yeah, that's right. The artist. The album, I always put podcast. 2017 is the year, and the genre is talk. And now you don't have to, but I always add some cover art. So where's my cover art? Let's see, programs, 2017. Okay, it must not be there. See, we can find the cover art. I'll just use this one. And then you just hit save. Now it's writing the tag data to that podcast. Normally doesn't take this long, but it's running kind of slow. My computer, that is. This is one of my older computers I'm working on. And once it is done, it'll say save tag in 101 files. Okay, now I'm done with that. Now I'm already logged in as a registered user of Black Talk Radio Network's platform. So I can just go ahead and click here to edit this. Now what I want to do is go here to add the podcast. You also upload video. See, upload file. Select files. You can see maximum upload file 99 megabytes. In the future, I may increase that. But let me just take this opportunity to say, you have to consider that a lot, especially if you're targeting black people as your demographic, for your media. A lot of black people use smartphones, and they have data plans. So you should make that file size as small as possible without losing quality, and 64 kilobytes per second is CD quality, so that they're not using up their data to listen to a podcast. So that's one of the reasons you want to make it as small as possible. So let me go ahead and select the file to upload that. Let me see, recent places, New Abolitionist Radio. I can get there. No. Go to programs. Now I want to, that'll be this one right here. I believe, no, that's not it. File 10 2017. Okay, that's the correct file. Now it's going to upload that file. Normally takes about maybe 2 minutes, if that. You can see here, this doesn't have the cover art. This one does. This one does too. But that is, for those podcast players that show that MP3 information, that's why it's good to just fill out all the fields. It's part of branding as well. So I'm going to pause this. It's halfway done. I'm going to pause this. Now, once it's done, this next part is very important. It's very important because we have a plug-in that will show your podcast on the front page of the site or in your archives, to where they don't even have to click all the way through to look at the whole post. They could just listen to the player right there. They can choose to go to the post if they want to get more information, but it just helps, I'm finding, to increase the distribution or downloads or listens to the podcast. So now I want to get the URL location for that MP3. So I'm going to highlight that part right there, copy it. Now I could just insert it with a player that's built into the site, insert the JW player, but I don't do that. I use something else. Okay, so I just get that code, I close it, then I go down to the plugin where it says podcast episode media URL. I paste it there. Then I'll verify the URL, and it detects all that stuff right there. So that's pretty much it. Now, here is the other thing. Okay, the categories. Those are the different podcasters or broadcasters on the website. We do have a blog that anybody can post to if they just want to write a blog. But for podcasting, you want to put it in your category. You can choose more than one category, but if it's a podcast, don't put it in a blog as well. Just put it in your archives. So since this was a promo for a live program first, the category's already chosen. But if you were just creating a new post and uploading your podcast because you don't do live, that, go ahead and choose your category, your name. So go ahead and close that. You can also put tags in there. I have here. The featured image is the image that'll show on the front page, like when we were on the front page. So that's what that featured image is. You could choose to put a featured image also here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit update. Now, I also, for those who are on our radio station, we also simulcast on Spreaker. And I like Spreaker's player better than, just the generic one that we use. So normally I would go ahead and replace this as well. But if I was a podcaster, I would just simply put my image in there. So I'm just going to simulate that. So I will hit add media again. I could upload the image that I want there, or I could just choose an image from the library. So I'm going to put in new, which stands for New Abolitionist Radio. It's going to search all media items. I could just, make it search for the images. So I'm going to find that image. Still not finished. Hold up. I'm going to find an image that I want to use, like this one. Then insert in the post. Now you could also, do extra stuff to it here. Change the file size and all of that. Make it 500. Make it align, the alignment. So most of this stuff is self-explanatory. If I wanted the image to link to something, I could do that here as well. All right, so I'm gonna insert it into the post. In the visual mode, this is what it would look like. So, all right, it's been updated. I'm gonna go ahead. I added an image. Let me update it once more. Then we'll take a look at the podcast. And why it does that, let me show you something else. If you're a podcaster, go ahead and you can make it have no sidebars. Like here, I'm using the default layout, but I'm gonna click no sidebar. I just wanted to show my post, nothing else on the site, so that the posts will load faster. Sorry if I seem I'm being a little slow or redundant here. All right, so now I'm gonna view the post. And it will show the podcast at the top of the post right there, where they could click to play it, download it, open it up in a new window. If they have iTunes or Android, listen to it there. So this is what this post looks like. And they can leave a reply and all of that good stuff. All right, now let me show you what I was talking about. If I go to the front page or the home page, you'll see what I'm talking about in terms of visitors being able to listen to a podcast without clicking all the way through the post. All right, this is a promo for a live show coming on tonight. These are from yesterday. I have to upload the podcast. These are clients on our radio station. So there's the podcast right there. So as you can see on the front page, if I can get this screen to act right, I could just play it right there. Okay. So that concludes the program. One more thing, this video, but one more thing I'm gonna show you about the categories. As you can see, these are profiles of the broadcasters or podcasters or radio stations on our network. I could, then if you hover over it, it show the podcast. That's your archives. So New Abolitionist Radio, if I go to the podcast, if I want to look at their archives, that's where I would click. And as you will be able to see, it'll show all the past shows. People could just go through and choose to listen, or if they want more information that may be in the post, they could do that. So that's why you have to choose the category corresponding to your name. All right, so that concludes this video tutorial on uploading podcasts to blacktalkradionetwork.com.